Somebody else tells us. It's not some artificial barrier that's been constructed. Instead, the future is what we decide it is going to be. That is what America's all about. When I am president of the United States, gays and lesbians will have somebody who will fight for equal rights for them because they are our brothers and they are our sisters.
No matter who we are, or where we come from, or what we look like, we are all only here because of those who marched and bled and died, from Selma to Stonewall, in a pursuit of that more perfect union that is the promise of this country.
Imagining and then fighting for, struggling for, working for what did not seem possible before. This is our moment. This is our time.
Personal investment in this. I'm not gay. I had to strain to think of one member of even my very extended family who is. I have no personal stories of close friends or colleagues fighting prejudice that still pervades their lives. Because this isn't about yelling, and this isn't about politics. This is about the human heart. And if that sounds corny, so be it. If you voted for this proposition, or you support those who did, or the sentiment they expressed, I have some questions, because truly, I do not understand. Why does this matter to you? What is it to you? In a time of impermanence and fly-by-night relationships, these people over here want the same chance at permanence and happiness that is your option. They don't want to deny you yours. They don't want to take anything away from you. They want what you want, a chance to be a little less alone in the world. Only now you are saying to them, no, you can't have it on these terms. Maybe something similar if they behave, if they don't cause too much trouble. You'll even give them all the same legal rights, even as you are taking away the legal right which they already had. A world around them still anchored in love and marriage, and you're saying, no, you can't marry. What if somebody passed a law that said you couldn't marry? I keep hearing this term, redefining marriage. If this country hadn't redefined marriage, black people still couldn't marry white people. 16 states had laws on the books which made that illegal in 1967. 1967. The parents of the president-elect of the United States could not have married in nearly 1/3 of the states of the country their son grew up to lead. But it's worse than that. If this country had not redefined marriage, some black people still couldn't marry other black people. It is one of the most overlooked and cruelest parts of our sad history of slavery. Marriages were not legally recognized if the people were slaves. Since slaves were property, they could not be legally husband and wife, nor mother and child. Their marriage vows were different. Not until death do you part, but until death or distance do you part. Marriages among slaves were not legally recognized. You know, just like marriages today in California are not legally recognized if the people are gay. What is this to you? Your marriage only stands a 50-50 chance of lasting, no matter how much you feel and how hard you work. And here are people overjoyed at the prospect of just that chance and that work just for the hope of having that feeling. This is what your heart tells you to do. You want to sanctify marriage? You want to honor your God and the universal love you believe he represents? Then spread happiness. This tiny, symbolic, semantical grain of happiness. Share it with all those who seek it. Quote me anything from your religious leader or book of choice telling you to stand against this. And then tell me how you can believe both that statement and another statement, and another one which reads only, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You are asked now to stand not on a question of politics, not a question of religion, not on a question of gay or straight. You are asked now to stand on a question of love. All you need to do is stand and let the tiny ember of love meet its own fate. You don't have to help it. You don't have to applaud it. You don't have to fight for it. Just don't put it out. Just don't extinguish it. Because while it may at first look like that love is between two people you don't know and you don't understand and maybe you don't even want to know, that love is in fact the ember of your love for your fellow person. Just because this is the only world we have, and the other guy counts too. Good night and good luck.
Somewhere in Des Moines or San Antonio, there's a young gay person who all of a sudden realizes that here he is gay, knows that if the parents find out, they'll be tossed out of the house. The classmates will taunt the child. and the Anita Bryants and John Briggs are doing their bit on TV, and that child has several options. Staying in a closet, suicide, and then one day that child might open a paper that says homosexual elected in San Francisco, and there are two new options. The option is to go to California, stay in San Antonio and fight. 2 days after I was elected, I got a phone call. The voice was quite young. It was from Altoona, Pennsylvania. And the person said, thanks. And you've got to elect gay people so that that young child and the thousands and thousands like that child know that there's hope for a better world. There's hope for a better tomorrow. Without hope, they're only gays. But those blacks, the Asians, the disabled, the seniors, the S's, without hope, the S's give up. I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you gotta give it hope.
To have pride, too long to keep it inside. Keep it inside. Can't sit back and watch from the side. From the side. Pride is power and power is pride. It's time to celebrate all colors. All your rainbow. Pride to have pride, too long to keep it inside. Keep it inside. Can't sit back and watch from the side. From the side. Pride is power and power is pride. It's time to celebrate all the colors, all your rainbow. Get out into the streets by all the time. Pride, gotta have pride. Got to have pride. Too long to keep it inside. Pride in ourselves. Can't sit back and watch from the side. Pride in our family.